fire, lightning, car drives into a building, $2,500. Your sinkhole is going to be 3% of the building value, and your hurricane deductible, so it's going to be a named hurricane, is going to be 3% calendar year, but that's applied per building.
I have a question. Do you know the appraised value of the buildings at this point?
We do based off of the 2014 appraisal. And the 2014 appraisal's values you're going to find on the prior page, so that's on page 3. You'll see statement of values.
Okay, so
on your
that's
6 stories,
$36,494,000.
96 million.
96, so almost $100 million bucks. We're managing on your behalf. That's a lot of assets.
Absolutely.
And that's 2014.
That was November of 2014.
Is it likely to be higher or lower now?
It's likely to go up.
Okay.
What you have right now is you have no co-insurance, and so your appraised value on your six-story buildings each is $8,260,000. If it's $9 million to put that building back, you get $8,260,000 because that's how much you're buying. If you choose to do an appraisal every year, we can endorse the values to increase them should the values go up. Right now we're seeing more construction going on, labor costs are going up, construction costs are going up, so you would probably see in a year and a half probably about a 3%, I would guess, increase in replacement cost values.
Any questions from the floor? We are trying to move through and grab this savings quickly. We'll go for it. So any questions from the floor? Great. So I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
So anyone opposed? Anyone opposed? It carries unanimously for those present. Thank you very much, Andrea.
Thank you. I'll leave it alone.
She said she could do it in 5 minutes. I think she did. The only other thing from the, is just to mention, it's further on the agenda, but I'll get it out of the way now. We are having a meeting on Monday afternoon. We have 3 forensic companies, audit companies coming in. One is recommended by our law firm. One is recommended by one of our directors and M&M both. And one is very knowledgeable about the lack of audit opinion in 2013. So they're all pretty good companies, and we're going to have a look. We hope to appoint the forensic auditor by the end of next week. That's just a by the by. We've already taken a motion on that and voted on it, so I'm just telling you progress. The other thing that to let you know, and it's just an update, we have set up a new bank account because we felt it was important to protect the interests of the association and have 2 bank accounts. And so we'll be using that. It's with the TD. We'll be using that as our main bank account. So all of the quarterly payments due April 1st will go into the new account, and M&M will be contacting you to make sure that we take care of that. We are still with Banco Popular. We'll be using one bank for certain things and another bank for others. So I can only say, and I can't say too much, that we believe this was an important thing to do until the special audit will be completed.
What happens if you've already sent
You want the petition now?
April the 1st and you're the whole year into M&M?
Well, they're going to give you procedures on how to deal with it. I'm just kind of, they are going to be in contact with you. So,
Because my check's already there.
I don't know, Charlene. We're just in the process of sorting that out. We're in the process of sorting it out. It's important to get our reserves into the new account and to build the balances there. We will be also moving, and we have a meeting with the Treasury of TD. TD is a really good, convenient choice for us, not only as an association, but for owners who use that bank locally. And they provide a level of service and options for the association that actually, quite frankly, are better than our current bank. So, yeah.
Can we still pay online?
You'll be able to, yes.
Still,
and we're coming up, yeah, all of the flexibility we have with Banco Popular, we will replicate with TD.
Yeah. Do we use April 1st payment coupon or hold off for now until we hear from you.
Why don't you just wait until we get to the next day or two? And I think Joe is going to put later on a motion on the floor to give you a little more time to pick. Anyone?
Bless you.
But we'll do that under how we're going to operate section. So we are going to give you a little more time. Anyway. Okay. That's it for the Finance Committee. Sorry that took a little bit longer. And Debbie's going to talk to you about the condo rules and bylaws and how we're going to improve our community.
Thank you, Peter. I'm going to head up the condo bylaw and rules regulations committee, because what we want to do is to get our community into today, not in the last century. A little bit of an exaggeration, but hey, what can I say? So basically, the docs are, from what I can see, they're split into 3 components. There's a declaration, and that's considered to be the big dog. It's the document that rules the association. And then that's split into the bylaws. The bylaws rule the directors. It describes their roles and responsibilities, what they can and can't do. And then there's the rules and regs, and that's what we as unit owners need to follow. And it just basically takes the declaration and puts it into simple language for us to follow. So I'll be taking a look at what we need to change to be current, what will work so that we can live cohesively and make sure that everyone can live together and work together in our community. So some of the things that I'm looking at is, the rec center use, leases or rentals, how you rent out your property, increase some owner flexibility, pet policy, security, and parking. But we also want to make sure that the review of the approval of resident changes. So if someone's buying or selling, whatever, we can get through that. Board published current doc, just to make sure that there was a stake in the ground so that we knew what we're doing going forward. But we'll take a look at that to make sure that it's up to speed with everything as well. Hoping to have this all completed by November the 1st. We have a meeting with the lawyers on Friday to go through what we can and what we can't do. But because the team that we have selected has experience with a lot of condo associations, so they bring a level of experience that we might as well leverage. If they've done a lot of the work, it'll make my job a lot easier and the folks that's on my committee. So that's the goal, and that's what we're hoping to do. And in closing, there's 4 folks, 3 others beside myself. We'd really like 1 more person to make it 5. So if there's anybody interested in helping with this one-time committee to get the bylaws into the current century, please see me after the meeting. Thanks.
That was good.
Are there any questions for Deb? It's a huge job, and when she says finish by November, we're talking about the owners voting to approve it. So it's a cumulative thing. Once the committee's happy with it and there's an owner input on it, then the board will send it out for a vote. The vote is like a petition. You keep going until you get the required number of signatures, and then boom, that becomes the effect. So in there, we're looking at term limits for directors and also staggered 2-year terms. So we don't go changing. You can't get things done in a year. Often it takes longer. A director just finds out how to actually operate in years of. So we'll be looking at that too. Any questions? Wow. Okay, Joe is the chairman of the Contract Review Committee. Where are you, Joe?
Here.
Okay, no.
Okay, so I started to verify the contracts with Larry Frost, and we came across a lot of discrepancies. First of all, we didn't find 3/4 of the contracts. And the ones that we did find, there's even more discrepancies. The numbers don't add up. So we're still working on that more. We're going back and we're checking it up. The one we did find is the elevator contract, and that one makes a lot of sense.
40 years.
Pardon?
I'll be a big help to you. I did it for 40 years.
All right, there, thank you. So the elevator contract makes a lot of sense. The only thing we have to work on with the elevator contract is make sure we have the service, because I feel we got missing service with the company, so we have to talk to them. And that's about all right now, because then we did go through some billings and numbers don't add up the way we want. There's a lot of expenses useless. And then today, we did receive the contract for the area for the grass, and the numbers don't add up according to the budget. Just looking at it quickly, because we didn't have much time today, Larry and I, and we found out that there's right off the bat, there's $30,000 that we're overpaying according to the contract. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. That's about all I can tell you
Why am I
folks
not
right now.
surprised?
Any questions for Joe?
Yes.
I believe I can be of a lot of assistance to you because I dealt with contracts. I was an elevator service tech for 40 years, and I was involved in a lot of do's and don'ts in contracts of having them report to the right place, sign in, sign out, what they did, what they didn't do, and be accountable for, preventative maintenance along with the maintenance that should be done.
Yeah, that is the
Margaret
problem,
Thatcher, too.
because the contract covers all of that. But
They don't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Call back maintenance.
Exactly, the maintenance doesn't seem to be done the way it should be done, because it's at their expense.
signed up.
Anyhow, I'll keep you in mind, and we will contact you, and we will contact the other company to make sure that they do respect what's written on the contract.
Joe, I have his number.
Back there, question?
We're back there, yes?
Yeah, I would like you to check the contract of the laundry.
Yes.
Because,
Yeah, we're working on that,
I'm-
we didn't
I'm
we
not
didn't
sure
get it
what's
yet.
happening with this, but we make about only $5,000 a year. It should be very much more than that.
I didn't quite understand, what do you mean by $5,000 a year?
The revenue is about $5,000 a year for all the association. It should be more than that,
It's gonna be more than that, it should be around 30,000.
and more than that.
No, it's not gonna get more than that, because the laundry is not very expensive, because I've discussed this with Larry, and Larry says the laundry is very cheap over here. At a dollar a wash and $1 for drying is not expensive. So if we can get $30,000 out of the point, we'll be lucky. That's what we're gonna be negotiating, but we're still waiting for the guy to bring the contract. The only contract that we saw was for replacing all the machines, and the machines, and he wanted a 10-year contract, and he wants to charge $1.75 per machine. $1.75 per wash, $1.75 to dry. So, we don't feel that we need to replace the machines, and we want to keep the old machines.